Good morning, world. Quick fire question. If you were sitting at your desk or on the couch and you had the computer on and you had your Facebook page open, now you get up, go to the fridge or something, and when you come back, your spouse is sitting in that spot with the computer. Would you panic? Yes, no, maybe. I bet some of you are thinking my next question is going to be why, but it's not. The next thing I would say, if the answer is yes, or the answer is maybe, stop doing whatever it is that you're doing wrong. Because a lot of us have gotten into that mindset of a difference between what you do online and what you do offline. It is true, like that song says, a lot of people really are cooler online. But the things you do online can and often do impact your life, your reality offline. So today I'm going to share 5 easy questions that you can ask yourself to determine, are you having a Facebook affair? Okay, first question. Are you adding friends online that you would not have in real life? Friends that your spouse would not be comfortable with offline? Friends that your spouse or the person you're in a relationship with can't know about? Do you have these secret friendships that if your spouse knew about would cause an issue in your relationship? If that answer is yes, then you may have something to think about. Think about what it is that you're doing, and of course, think about the reverse of it. How comfortable would you be if it was your spouse or your significant other who had those types of friendships that you have? That's the first question. Are you adding friends online that you would not have in real life? And I'm not saying like a celebrity that you don't normally hang out with, but because you're online, you guys are friends. I'm talking about that guy that you know that you have conversations with, the person who's almost a regular part of your life now online, that your spouse would not be comfortable with or that you can't let your spouse know about. So if the answer to that is yes, you have stuff to think about. Are you sharing things with someone that you would not be able to share in offline life? And for that, we're talking about, conversations about your relationship, maybe. Images, that's a huge thing where people do share images with people online, and they share images in private messages that, maybe you're sending your friend, bare-chested pictures, or maybe you're sending your friend booty shots, or maybe whatever pictures that you're sharing with that person online, whatever conversations, whatever emotions that you're sharing with this person online, would you share those with that person offline? Would it be okay? Would it be acceptable to be talking to your buddy in, let's pick a city, your buddy in Miami, and saying, yeah, baby, I love you and I miss you and this, that, and the other? Would you say that online? Yes, we do share emotions with our friends. Yes, we do have friends that we miss, that we love, that we care about. But can your husband hear you tell this friend that you love him? Can your wife hear you tell this friend that you miss her? That's the way we should be making that difference. If I can't openly with my wife next to me tell my friend I miss you, then am I taking the Facebook friendship a little bit too far? If I cannot let my husband hear me tell my friend that I love him, am I going too far on Facebook? So are you sharing things? Would I be comfortable walking around and showing in my underwear in front of this person if he was in my house? Would it be appropriate for me to answer the door in whatever it is that I'm sending this person a picture? if that person was right here and my husband was right here, would I be doing the same thing? So if you're sharing things that are too racy, that are not acceptable offline, pictures, conversations, whatever it is that you share, if those would not be acceptable offline, they're not acceptable online. Of course, we have those long distance friendships. We have those people that we look forward to seeing, those people that we look forward to meeting, that those people that we just need to talk to. Yeah, some of us have that friend where if you've had a bad day, you just can't wait to talk to this person and just let it out. Yeah. But is there some special friend that you're rushing home at the end of the day because you guys have a 6 o'clock, I need to be online chatting with this guy? Or maybe your spouse is in the bed and at 11 o'clock you have to wake up and go and chat with this person. Are you having secret meetups, secret rendezvous that your spouse cannot know about? Are you having private conversations, that maybe conversations that you need to be having with your spouse that you're having with an individual who is not your spouse, who's not your significant other? So that's another question. If the answer to that question is yes, you might need to think about what it is that you're doing. If your spouse finds that chat log, that inbox, what is it called? Script, whatever they call, the archives from your inbox to that person, would there be a problem in your relationship? If the answer to that question is yes, then yes, there is something for you to think about. You need to think about what it is that you're doing and what relationship you are having with this person. Are you having discussions? I guess that part was kind of answered in number 3. Are you having discussions with this person that your spouse can't know about, or having these discussions with someone that your spouse can't know about, where you're having intimate conversations, where you're having personal conversations? Again, conversations you should be having with your spouse, with this individual. Are you having racy conversations that, you shouldn't be having with a friend? Conversations that, if you guys were on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and your husband came up, and it would be weird. Or if you guys were sitting on the porch and your wife came up, it would be weird. If you're having those conversations in chat, just because you're typing it instead of saying it, or whether on the phone or face to face, just because it's being typed does not make it any less of what you are saying. The words are still the same. The emotions behind them are still the same, and the damage that they can cause are still the same. So if you are having these private or middle of the night chats with someone, yeah, you have stuff to think about. And finally, are you having relationships that make you feel guilty? Or relationships that make you feel like you're sneaking around, that make you feel sneaky? Or relationships that make you feel different about your spouse? Maybe you're having conversations with someone and thinking, oh, why can't my husband be like this? Why can't my wife be like that? Why can't my wife be this? Why can't my girlfriend be like that? Why can't my boyfriend be like that? If you're having those relationships online, it's not that different from someone going out and having a physical affair or an emotional affair in person and saying, yeah, my wife wasn't listening, my wife wasn't doing this, my wife wasn't doing that, my husband doesn't do this, but we weren't doing anything. If you're having relationships that make you feel guilty, you're doing something that you should be feeling guilty about. If you feel like you have to sneak around to have an online relationship, if your phone, if your husband, if you have to go and pick up the kids, but you can't leave because I gotta turn off the computer and sign off before my husband gets home, yeah, that's a problem. If you're doing things online that makes you feel make you fearful that your husband would ever discover them, then maybe you shouldn't be doing them. And again, if you're doing anything that, if you're having conversations with a person or having a relationship, I know when I say relationship, I mean just the general interaction, but, and often we don't think of that as a relationship, but it is. If you're having interactions that make you feel like maybe this person is supplementing what you're not getting from your husband, really, you might want to think about that, because your husband, your wife might not agree to, you know, the assistance that your friend is providing. If there is something missing in your relationship, talk to your spouse, talk to the person you're with, talk to your significant other, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever. Talk to that person and get whatever you're missing from that person. You don't need to go outside of your relationship to get it, because even whether you're getting it from someone else offline or from someone else online, the damage offline, the damage in real life is just as hurtful. So, to recap, first thing, are you adding people online that you wouldn't be friends with offline? People that your spouse cannot know about? If yes, there's an issue. Are you sharing things with people online that you wouldn't share offline? A lot of it, those pictures, those messages, the emoticons and all that stuff, yeah. Third, are you having these private meetings or private odd hour kind of rendezvous that your husband can't or doesn't know, shouldn't, better never know about? Yeah, that is reason for questioning. Are you having discussions that you wouldn't want your spouse to know about? Are you having conversations that you wouldn't want your spouse about, or with someone that you wouldn't want your spouse to know about? So whether it's the content or the other party that you would have, that would be an issue if your spouse knew about it, that's still an issue. And finally, are you having relationships that make you feel sneaky, that make you feel guilty, or that make you feel different about your spouse? If those are the case, yeah, you might need to think about that one or have a discussion. If something is missing from your relationship, the person to get it from is the person you're in that relationship with. You don't need to go search for it elsewhere. Your spouse does not need a break from being your spouse. Your significant other doesn't need help carrying the load of being your partner. If you need something, it is your responsibility. It is your duty to tell your spouse, to tell your partner what it is that you are looking for, and help them to succeed in providing you, having that need met. Your needs need to be met in your relationship. Yes, there are friendships and there are needs that are met in friendships, but friendships are something that a family, a couple can share. If you have friends, if you're doing things with your friend that your spouse cannot know about, you need to stop. Otherwise, you are headed for trouble. That's just my little humble 2 cents. So again, I hope you take that seriously. If you have any questions, please do ask. And that's it. Good morning, world. Have a great day, preferably offline.